Hey guys, Adam here, DirectionTrader.com. Let's go over today's trading and then talk about what I see in the markets moving forward. We have crude pulled up right now. Over here on the right, let's go ahead and pull up the daily chart as we like to do here. So we got a daily chart over here on the right and then an anchor chart, which is a 1600 tick on the left here. These here are just my notes for the day. As you see, we got a little scratch pad we set up. This is actually something we do in the pre-market. This is something new that we do. We go ahead and we fill in our notes pre-market, and we basically just follow these guidelines throughout the entire trading session. So we basically never deviate from this plan that we have set up here pre-market. If the market doesn't react well to that plan, we just basically sit on our hands. But this keeps us in tune with the markets, and it's been extremely powerful with helping us become much more consistent here as a group. It's easier to teach, and that way we're not just bouncing all over. We really have a plan set in place before we ever start our trading day here in the live trading room. So something we do every single morning, write down our daily notes, and we follow them. We literally stick to the game plan that we set forth in the pre-market. So that's what that was. Crude. What do we see here in crude? Well, we said a couple different things on crude. Let's see if we can start to break here. On crude, what was our notes here? We have three different levels to look for. We have the previous day's highs, lows, and the midpoint. That's going to be the stressor here, the midpoint here. Watch for the bounce off of these levels, looking to trade in the direction towards that next level of the previous bar. So using yesterday's candle bar, we're looking at the previous day's high, low, and midpoint. What happened here early on was let's zoom in here just a little bit on this daily chart because we're going to focus in here just a little bit on what we did in the room, not necessarily, and then we'll talk about what we move forward. We looked at the previous day's high, previous day's low, and then this midpoint that we were dealing with here. And as you see here, the market opened up here. We popped a little bit higher early on, but then we had some very aggressive selling. Aggressive selling number one there just to get us started, and then we had aggressive selling number two. Here you can actually see we shorted the crude. Now it looks like, hey, well, Adam, you failed on this one. To be honest, we actually took 11 ticks out of this. We trailed it. One of the reasons we decided to lock in profits so quickly on this after only 11 ticks is because we were noticing some behavior here on a 5-minute bar. If we pull up a 5-minute bar, you will see some behavior here on a 5-minute bar that was not that interesting to me. We were actually creating a hammer here on a 5-minute bar, and I simply just wanted to not get caught up in that. Let me see what time that actually fell at here. Let's go forward, forward, forward. Here we go. All right, so as you can see here, at 9:45, we had a bottoming tail candle here on the crude. So that caused us to be extra careful. So basically, we're having some strong selling. We found an area of resistance that we really liked, and we found some good shorting in there. We started to get some more selling in there, but we had this big bottoming tail candle on a 5-minute chart. So as the market was trading down, we kept locking in profits. Ended up taking, like I said, 11 ticks out of this thing to the downside, and then sure enough, the market popped back up. So that was all we really had in crude. Being very, very disciplined in crude. In this sideways range this morning, now since lunchtime, we've actually had a nice little pop here. So going into tomorrow, I still see us being in this chop range, but we're above this area of support that we were talking about the last two trading videos here. So any type of upside activity, I'm going to go ahead and look for it to trade up towards these areas of resistance. We have a lot of room here to climb. If this market wants to climb, I'm going to go ahead and let it. But if it fails to want to push higher, we're still in a downtrend on a daily chart. As you see here by my moving average, 50-period moving average, 21-period, we're still in a downtrend here. Any type of drop here below this previous day's highs, I will go with it. Okay, so crude is actually a very, very fun market for us right now because we have potential to the upside and downside with space. What I mean by space is there's really not much here to bother us on crude except for this 50-period moving average all the way up to these swing highs and swing lows. There's not a lot of chatter in here. So And if we obviously drop to the downside, we got to avoid these swing lows, but lots of room to the downside. So we are actually in a good position here on crude to get bullish and bearish opportunities here. I'm going to watch that previous day's highs, and I'm going to see if it gets above the previous day's highs. I'm going to look to trade it long, avoiding this 50 EMA. Anything below the previous day's highs, look for pullbacks, look for retracements, and shorting opportunities. So crude continues to be a very interesting market, something we almost trade every single day in here. So we'll look for that moving forward. Let me go over here to the Russell because it was so awesome today. Look at this drop in the Russell, guys. Let me just pull up my notes here on the Russell. Not interested unless we break out of its sideways funk. What do I mean by sideways funk? You see the last 2 days we've had the same bar, doji bars. Get out of there. What am I looking to do? Bullish above, bearish below. Pretty straightforward stuff. That's all I'm looking for here with the Russell. As soon as it breaks out, what do? We jump on board here this morning here. So 300 bucks here per contract, 31 ticks here on the Russell. As it pulled back right out of the gate, shorted. Once it dropped, pulled back again, shorted. Awesome shorting here. You can see even as we went into lunch here, I had my last short right here. We were trying to get a pullback, and the market just did not pull back here for us. It just kept looking lower, but nonetheless was able to take 31 ticks out of this really early this morning. That's per contract, and then we went into a consolidation and more selling here as we go into this afternoon. So just an awesome day here from my perspective because I was able to get some really great trades there on the Russell, and it was so straightforward, guys. It's something we talked about before the market ever started. We say, guys, we get out of this range here on the daily chart, I'm going with it. Whether it's to the upside or the downside, I'm going with it. And sure enough, a fire started, and here we go, off to the races. Sure enough, we were lucky enough to go ahead and capture all that profit here to the downside. So lots of profit here in Russell, lots of profit there in the crude. Even though the crude didn't go anywhere, we still made over $100 a contract, and that just came down to good market awareness and money management. So great day in the market here. Moving forward on this Russell, pretty good sell-off, guys. I fully anticipate somewhat of a choppy day tomorrow, somewhat of a consolidation through here. To see a day this big and see any type of follow-through is extremely rare. Tomorrow, if we get above the previous day's low and we have any type of buying opportunity, I'll probably take it up to about this midpoint. You see this 8-period moving average that we have here? It's an EMA on the daily. Anywhere from about halfway point here of today's range. If we pop back up there, I would still be looking for shorts. But if we end up trading here above the previous day's low tomorrow and I can get a buying opportunity up to this point, I'll probably take it. If we break lower, I got to go with it, but I got to be really hesitant, guys. It's rare to see a big down day and then another big day. You usually see a break, either a pause or pullback, and then a pop again. Either way, we're going to anticipate this kind of consolidation here, whether that be a bullish here consolidation where it retraces a little bit of that bar and then heads back down, or if it's a sideways chop, that means there should be an even further runner. So after tomorrow, you're going to hear my video. If we get a pullback, you see maybe a little bit of a pop down. A consolidation could lead to another big down day here. We could have something starting here very, very interesting in the stock index futures. We're down 300 points on the Dow. That is a big red flag, people, when it comes across the CNBC and people see minus 300. That starts to raise an eyebrow. So looking at tomorrow, it should be a very interesting trading day. I'm curious if we're going to get a pause here on the indexes, being that we had such a big down day today. Any type of pop-up is very common, but if we stay like this, look out Friday. You could see the markets open up here on Friday if we don't get at least somewhat of a pullback tomorrow. So something I'm going to watch very closely tomorrow in the live trading room. But either way, it should make for an awesome Thursday, especially with crude, being able to trade long or short. We are seriously trading if-then situations on crude, which is actually a very good place for us to be. So, going to be fun. So, had a fun week, had a fun 2015 so far. Let's just keep it up and see if we can just keep these profits coming, guys. That's it for today, though. If you have any questions, get a hold of me, Adam at directiontrader.com. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's recap.